Alrighty, y'all. Well, it's been a while again since my last post. Still down here in Georgia. We are working on getting some stuff done. So, one of the things I've got done, oh look, you could actually see it, is doing all this paneling and batting stuff up here. Let's flip the camera around. So, went ahead, got all this paneling up, did all the battens, silicone, painted. So, we also they've got a bathroom that was remodeled. This here is a dryer vent that I just have all spray painted out so you can't really see it any. That way it just kind of blends in up there. But we he's got a bathroom down here that was remodeled that has a junction box that's sitting on top of it with some Romex in it that comes straight from the breaker panel that literally goes to this junction box and then out here to an outlet that's on the wall on the patio. And that's all that's on that circuit. So, since there's nothing out here other than just underdecking to keep this area dry already, we planned out, or should I say, I planned out to run 4 lights out here. They're just the pocket remodel lights, so they're super easy to go ahead and take care of. And then added the ceiling fan up here. And then, yeah, so that's what we've gotten done so far. But I will show you what my next project's going to be here that I'm working on, which is actually a tree house. So I'm going to go up here in this tree. Those are 4x6 beams, pressure treat. Obviously, we don't want it rotting away. But big old oak tree. Working on ripping off all that English ivy off there at the same time. But this is where we've started at so far. Alrighty, y'all. Well, excuse the crazy hair right now. Just got done working on the tree house for what we're going to do today. So we got our other 2 diagonals up for the other side. And I tell you what, working on a tree trunk that is not obviously straight up and down. It's at an angle. It's twisted. The diameter of the tree varies in every single direction. Makes it a real big pain in the butt to make some diagonal supports and the initial 2 horizontal support beams level and square to each other. It is a task, I tell you that. But let me show you guys where we're at now. So obviously 2 diagonals there, 2 diagonals there, but then down here in the joints, because they don't look the best, because the tree obviously doesn't have the same plane for everything to land on, went ahead and trimmed this out with a little like shelf here, basically little shelf panel. Kids will be able to paint this, put birdhouses on it, squirrel feeders, whatever. So that'll work out cool. But we got the initial portion here of the structure started. So next step will end up being to start laying out the floor joists. We're going to end up doing so this is 12 feet long. It's a smidge over 12 feet. But this thing's going to get laid out 12 feet. And we're going to be able to get this thing up there, get the joists in it, square it all up, put in all my joist hangers. And then we're going to run some more of these 4x6s somehow off of the tree into basically like the header board and secure a diagonal support into the headers. So that way, since there's going to be a fairly large cantilever here on each side of this, about 4.5 feet or so. It's 2x8s. They can cantilever that far, no problem. Going into that header, that's going to have some structural support to it. So I just have to figure out where we're going to land those on the tree and where they're going to land on the headers once it's kind of up there. But It's going to end up getting laid out 16 on center, 2x8s. At the 96-inch mark, it's going to end up with 2 sistered joists right there. And I'm doing that so that way I'm going to put 2 sheets of plywood in the back left corner of this. It's going to end up being the floor surface that the actual little treehouse gets built on. So it's going to end up being 8x8. And for the treehouse itself, and then there'll be basically like a 4-foot little walk around deck on the front and right side of it. So it's going to be real usable, able to get quite a few little kids on there playing and whatnot. Don't have to worry about it. But that is where we got to today. So we'll go ahead and catch you guys back up tomorrow. Once I start getting the joists up here, we'll check back in. Alrighty, y'all. So, since the last little clip for this video, it's been a few days. But, enjoyed some warm weather, getting some stuff done. And as for the treehouse, we have made some pretty decent progress here. So down here on the bottom, we got our other 4 triangles in that come out to our header boards. Those are lagged in and lagged into the tree, so that way all the cantilevered weight still triangulates back into the tree. Got the first wall framed up. I'm going to go ahead and sheathe that thing, get the window and everything into it before I put it in place. So that way I don't have to do that part hanging off of a ladder. But I will actually walk up and show you guys what we've got done for decking so far in the last day here. So we are decked out except for this last board because I've got handrails that I have to land in these corners and bolt in. Same for, oh, he stuck down an extra one. So I'll have to pull out that one there to do the same for the handrails, but no big deal. Or I guess I can mount them on the outside too. But we are decked. I just have to trim the boards on this face here so they're all flush. But where the plywood is here and here, it goes on out there, that's going to be the floor for what's actually going to be the tree house, which is 8x8. This whole platform up here is 12 feet by 12 feet. So that's the back wall. The back wall and this left wall is going to have 24-inch window centered up in them. Just 24 by 24 that don't open. That way the kids can't throw anything into the neighbors' yards, down the hill, can't crawl. Because, you know, definitely don't want people to get hurt. So, but we'll have a door facing us from where we just were. And then on the right side of that, there'll be a operational window there so they could pass things in and out through the window and all that fun stuff. But with that, that's the update I got for today so far on this cool little project. So I will go ahead and leave it off there so these don't get too super long. And I'll do another little update with the rest of the walls framed up. Alrighty, guys. Well, so on to the next update video here for the tree house. I've got the 4 walls framed up. We've got them up. We've got them sheathed for the most part. We've got 2 windows in. But yesterday I took the day off. It was Super Bowl. So we ended up having a little gathering here for that. And then now I've got to go ahead and get ready to start building the roof on this thing. So we can get that knocked out. And because the weather is going to be kind of bad for like a week. It's supposed to just rain, rain, rain. So I want to try to get that done. So that way, 1, it's not wet inside of it. But 2, that way I have a little covering to kind of work underneath to work on everything else while it kind of rains. But, so with that, let's go ahead and see where we're at. So that's that far wall. We've got it in place. Got some bracing back there that I got to pull out. But, so no trim's done out here yet. This window hole over here is cut out. We got to go ahead and get that window in there and get it trimmed out. But we're going to do that after we get the roof on this thing. I'm not going to get it shingled today. And hopefully I can get it sheathed. Oh, bless. But, so, that's what the back wall looks like so far. You know, the other corners over there done up. The other side's trimmed out as well. So, but goal today, we're going to try to bang out this roof so we have something to keep us a little dry. And I think that's going to be a good goal today. But we'll have to see what happens. So, next update, I'll be probably however far I get on this today. So see y'all then. Alrighty, y'all. Well, so out here working on the tree house and whatnot. We got all 4 walls up now. We got most of the sheeting done. We got one more sheet of sheeting to do. But then I have the door built. So I got to hang the door, stick that piece of sheathing up there. Or should I say at least measure out the piece of sheathing. Get it cut and trimmed. Because I got one more door stud to put in basically for the end of the door. So I have to hang the door first. But getting the rafter tails up, getting some more of the trim done, and I also started on the decking. But first, let's go ahead and show you the door. So the door itself is over here framed up. So double stud on the hinge side. We've got our stud there for our slider to go on. And then we have our good old diagonal to hold up the edge of the door on the hung side. So that way it doesn't sag over time. But went ahead, got the bridge started over here. Got my hangers in. It's self-supported. Can walk across it. Just got to pick up some more planks to finish planking it off. And then I've got to cut it probably right about here. So I'm thinking 2 more planks, and then I'll cut that off flush, and that'll be where that lands. So that way, as the tree sways and stuff, it can rock back and forth on that platform there. But on the inside here, let me zoom this out. We got our one functional window that we're going to have over here. So that way, we'll probably take the screen off. That way the little kitties can slide things in and out of it. But getting our rafter tails done. So this side's all done. It's all raftered out. Hangers are all done. This side, I got one more rafter tail to stick out of this side. It'll hang off. And then I got to trim all these guys off. I'm actually going to shorten this roof up. It's not going to be that big 12-foot overhang. Then I've got trim work around this window done. Started that back trim along here. Just started. It's hanging past. Make it easy to go ahead and trim that stuff off along with this other trim here. So make it real easy. But that's far. So now the plan is tomorrow. Got to go pick up some material. Ran out of nails for the nail gun. So we'll have to go grab a box of those. So that way it just makes life easy. And then, hopefully tomorrow I'll get the bridge finished off. Get the trim on this side done. Get that rafter tail up there. And then we can mark them to go ahead and cut them off. So that way they're nice and square. No big deal there. And yeah, then I'll give you guys another update here once we get the roof done and on, the trim's done, and the door's on, all the sheathing's done, and then we start working on handrails. Alrighty, y'all. Well, so out here working on the tree house. in between rainy days here. But we are just about finished. We've got everything done that we've planned on doing, except for the little posts for our solar lights to sit on. And we still have to shingle this thing and trim the back edge of the sheathing. But let's go ahead and take a look at this thing from this upper deck up here, and then we'll walk down to it. Because I'm thinking it looks pretty freaking good for being built in a crazy tree. That definitely made every part of it extremely difficult. But there you go, guys. Got our cool little bridge. Spans across from our normal stairway to get up on the deck. Down into the backyard. Goes across. We're all railed in. Windows in. All the trim work done. Up. I take that back. I see one piece of trim that still has to be cut to length over there on the bottom of that eave. But other than that, got to do shingles and flashing for the roof around the tree, just to make her a little watertight. Not worried about too much about the roof stuff. It is ground contact pressure treat, so 1-inch thick plywood. Definitely not too worried about it. It's going to be able to dry out. It's not going to be insulated or anything, so it's going to have plenty of airflow, able to dry. That's what you really got to worry about, is if stuff gets wet, is if it can dry. But with that, go ahead and take a look inside if we can. It's probably going to be a little dark in there. But go here, man, look at this. This is cool, right? This window here opens and closes. We'll probably take the screen out so the kids can pass things in and out through here when they're up here playing. At least I think that's their plan for it. But let's look at this, man. So we come in, big tall walls, 6'9" wall here in the back, but 2 fixed windows on the side without a deck. So if those ever break or whatever, they can't open, kids can't jump out of them. It is a big drop from there. There's that window. Freaking tree in the way here. But I tell you, I know a lot of kids that would love to have something like this. That is for sure. It is extremely unique. Not a lot of people can do something like this. One, build it. It is very difficult to build something in a tree because it is not straight up and down. It's not a perfect square. It's not perfectly round. It's kind of like, think about building on like a Twizzler that's leaning over. Like if you stood it up on one end and it just kind of flops over some. That's basically what you're trying to build in. So it makes trying to make things square, flat, level, plumb, nightmare. So wasn't really shooting for perfection on it, but we definitely trying to make something quality. It definitely isn't falling out of the tree, that's for sure. So it's going to be here for a long time. Everything's pressure treat. Deck's pressure treat, joist pressure treat, roof rafters pressure treat, all the siding's pressure treat, floor inside of it's pressure treat, the roof's pressure treat, wall studs are pressure treat. Everything except for the actual trim itself is all pressure treat material. And then these handrails are aluminum. So they are all going to be here for a long time. But that is what we have. So with that, guys, that's going to end off this little treehouse video, because all I got left is to roof it. It's not getting painted or anything. So it's been fun. It's been interesting. Hope you guys kind of like the little staggered progress style video here that I'm going to put together. And hit that like, subscribe. And with that, after this video, guys, we are going to get back to our normal health and fitness content. Because, man, I have missed going to the gym. It's been almost 3 months. I've been here. When I go back home, that'll be the end of 11 weeks, basically. I'll be a couple days short So it's been rough. I'm pretty sure I put on quite a bit of weight again, but we'll get home, we'll weigh in, we'll start eating clean, back on the diet, back to the grind. So with that, guys, get out there, make sure you're working towards your goals. Most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.